How to pass the exam, you have to really want it. So, I don't know, pero pag gusto mo, I call this cliche, pero pag gusto mo talaga yung isang bagay, you work hard for it. So I don't know, or it doesn't matter how many takes, ang ilang take nyo na, is it first or your seventh take, you have to really want it. Kasi kung talagang gusto mo, you will always have the drive, okay? Hindi lang gusto mo dahil gusto mo ma-impress yung friends mo, gusto mo ma-impress yung school mo, dahil gumalit yung cum laude, na-pressure ka. No, you have to really want it for yourself. So, again, you have to really want it. There is no other option for that. Now, these are the new curriculum table of specifications. Okay, we have here, of course, Introduction to Linguistics, Theoretical Foundations of Language, Culture, Literacies, and Literature. That's 25%. I think 37 items. Meron sana yung items kaya lang yung source ko is na-crop siya. So I could not see it entirely. But anyway, so language, culture, and society. We have structure of English. So structure of English. What else? Language programs and policies in multilingual societies. So knowledge and understanding of policies and programs. Yes, learn in a multicultural setting. So this is 25%. No? And then you have literature is 30%. So children and adolescent literature. Mythology and folklore, literature of selected countries. That's it. Let me look some more. Methodology, so ito yung lahat. Right? Now, I want you to analyze that. Okay. Sa lahat ng napag-aralan mo sa major, for 4 years, all of those subjects and contents, pagdating mo dun sa board exam, they will be summed up into 150 questions. Yung 4 na taon mong pag-aaral, it will be summed up into just 150 questions. At napakalawak ng scope. So, always prepare yourself. Sobrang unpredictable ng board exam. So, you have to prepare yourself, okay? Don't expect na yung mga lahat ng inaral mo lalabas siya. No. The questions there, it will be new. Words there that you might have never met before. That's why the only thing you can do is practice. Just prepare yourself. Diba? I've always had this as my parang principle ko na taking the exam, it's like going to a jungle. Diba? And there are a lot of wolves in there. Now, what will you do prior to going to the jungle? You practice how to kill the wolves, how to kill the lions, diba? Para hindi ikaw una yung mamatay. Yung mga wolves doon, yun yung mga difficult questions that you've never met before. So it can actually kill you right there and then. Diba? Kaya nga yung iba, also nag-review din ako at asked you a question kung retaker ba kayo or first-timer, and there are a lot of retakers and they all failed sa major. And even I can tell, talagang mahirap siya. Nahirapan din talaga ako. Even yung mga classmates ko matatalino, they also really had a hard time. And so expect that one. I want you to brace yourself. Huwag yung overconfident na chill lang. Okay? So expect that you don't know the questions. Oh, the best you can do is understand the concepts. Okay? Read the questions well. And no worries. I will be giving tips along the way. So yeah. Well, don't take notes. Okay? Just listen. This will be a really long one. And we can start right away. All right. So ito yun na yung US. So study tip. Empty your mind before you start. I want you all to be in a very, very clean state of mind. I want you to just think of your want to pass the board exam. Yun lang yung isipin niyo, okay? Yung gustong-gusto niyong pumasa. Don't think about anything else na makakapagpa-bother sa inyo. Kung naghiwalay ka ng jowa mo, mamaya na lang. Empty your mind before you start studying. Always, all the time. Kasi kapag naguguluhan yung utak mo tapos pinilit mo mag-aral, it will still be useless. Kasi wala ka namang maiintindihan. So if right now, if you're really bothered, you can skip the live muna. Don't worry kasi uploaded naman ito. Panoorin mo lang kapag okay na yung mental state mo, okay? Now, and here we are. So we will start with yung mga medyo madadali pa. And I want you all to comment your answers. Comment your answers. So, board exam tip, context clues, okay? Kung hindi mo alam yung word, basahin mo yung entire sentence, basahin mo lahat ng options. And maybe through that, makakuha ka ng idea as to what it means, okay? So again, context clues. Anyway, this first one, it's really simple. and you probably met this one all the time. So, what system do students use capitalization and punctuation rules? Is it A, syntactic, B, semantic, D, pragmatic, C, pragmatic, or D, graphophonic? So please comment your answers. So kapag capitalization and punctuation, it usually is about the structure. Okay, about yan ang structure. So our answer to that is actually letter A. Yes. So I think paulit-ulit na kasi itong syntactic at semantic, syntax and semantics, lexicals, right? We've often hear about this one. So no worries, and I'm sure you've mastered this one already. So it's letter A. Now let's have the rationalization. Syntactic, usually about grammar, about structure, kung paano ina-arrange yung mga words, kung paano ino-organize yung mga words to form into a sentence that's syntax or syntactic, okay? So for example, is yung subject-verb agreement. Next, yung second option naman na semantic. So this is more lexical, so words, okay? It's, yeah, all about words. So for example, yung salitang create, guys. Yes, maintindihan natin ano yung create, but if we understand it semantically, create can mean so many things. So pwedeng, ibig sabihin ng create is make, construct, imagine, right? Compose. So marami siya. So yan yung semantic. It's how, or it sees how words work. Okay, ano yung iba't ibang interpretations or meaning niya. So semantic. Okay, I hope that's clear. Syntactic, always remember it's a structure. Semantic naman, these are words. Now, ano naman yung pragmatic? Pragmatic. So how language is used. So pragmatic this time, it's more contextualized. How language is used. So for example, yung tono ng boses, body language, eye contact, right? Iba-iba yung ibig sabihin niyan. That's pragmatic, okay? So, yeah, for example, yung when someone says I love you, like, oh, of course, if we hear it, it all means the same. But nakadepende siya kung paano sinabi, anong ginagawa niyo while nag-I love you siya. Ano, sincere ba yung I love you niya? Dahil kapag nag-I love you ka, tapos hindi sincere, then it's not what it means, di ba? Hindi ka niya love kasi hindi sincere yung pagkasabi niya. So that's how pragmatic is, okay? How language is used. So nakadepende siya. Yung meaning niya is nakadepende sa kung paano siya ginamit, ano yung context, okay? Of course, graphophonic naman. So this is the process of like visualizing, okay? Nakita mo yung letters and then you sound it out, turns into phonics. So for example, yung salitang smell, if you have this problem, minsan pwedeng maging small yung pronunciation mo, right? Father, feather. So that's graphophonic, okay? It's all about the sound and phonetics naman, okay? So again, structure, it's syntax, words, semantics, pragmatic, contextualized, how language is used, and graphophonic is about the sound, okay? That's it. Unang katanungan pa lang po yun. Okay, let's move on. So, which lapse in language learning is applicable in the situation below? She held my hand and asked me if I righted my essay already. Is it habit formation, hypothesis testing, overgeneralization, or simplification? Comment your answers. Correct answer is yes, it's overgeneralization. Wow, daming nakakuha ng tamang sagot. That is correct. It's letter C, overgeneralization. So ano bang mali dito? So ito, I think I have, all right. So she held my hand and asked if I righted. So yung salitang righted, yung mali. Right? Kasi ano ba yung past tense ng write? It's wrote. Right? Past participle niya naman is written. Walang righted. Pero bakit naging righted yung pagkasulat niya? It's because dito kasi sa asked, merong ed. So this speaker probably assumed na, okay, kapag past tense na, pag nagdagdag ka ng ed, kapag past tense, nagdagdag ka ng ed. So it probably applies to every word. Kaya, okay, dinagdagan niya rin ng ed yung salitang right, which is incorrect. So yan yung language lapse, okay? Nag-overgeneralize siya, which means you apply a specific rule na hindi naman applicable sa lahat. Okay? So it's overgeneralization. Okay, very well. So even like Example, in different countries, kaya nga merong culture shock, di ba? Kasi iba yung, if you're here in the Philippines, iba yung ways natin dito. And if you go to the same country and you apply the same ways, siguro iba din yung sa kanila. So sometimes we overgeneralize. So that can be applied to daily life, and of course, it can be applied to speaking a language as well. So this is overgeneralization, okay? She held my hand and asked if he righted. It should be wrote, okay? So let's proceed. The pen is mightier than a sword. What figure of speech is used? Comment your answers. Correct answer is indeed letter C, that is metonymy. Okay, so metonymy is a representation. Again, metonymy is a representation. So I think this is the very common example, and paminsan-minsan is lumalabas din siya. Pen is mightier than a sword. So pen here, in my own interpretation, it represents knowledge, right? It represents knowledge. So sword naman represents a skill. So it's possible na yung knowledge mo is more powerful than a skill or like an actual fight. So like Dr. Jose Rizal, for example, when he had like, of course, he saved our country not really by fighting, but through his writing, di ba? So metonymy is ganyan siya. It's a representation. So for example, if you talk about crown, it means a king or someone that holds power. So nagre-represent siya. Okay, it symbolizes something. So correct answer is indeed letter C, but let's figure out ano ba yung iba. If you say paradox, this is a contradictory statement. So for example, the child is the father of the man. So the child is the father. So parang nagko-contradict yung idea niya, but in the end, it still all makes sense. So understanding ko dito is that because if you're a kid, you get to learn so many things while growing up. So as an adult, you learn from all those experiences. That's why it becomes the child is the father of the man. So if you say oxymoron, contradictory terms, okay? For example, faithfully unfaithful, perfectly imperfect. So all those nagko-contradict siya, but they still make sense. So if you say faithfully unfaithful, diba? So opposite words, that makes sense. And sinekdo ka naman is part of a whole. For example, I will give you a hand, I will give you a hand. So hindi naman kamay lang yung ibibigay mo. You actually help with all your body, diba? But hand there is the representation. I am taking the wheel. Hindi naman yung wheel lang yung dinadrive mo. So you're actually taking the entire car. Pero, wheel lang doon. Kasi part of, ibig sabihin ng wheel doon is the car. That's how synecdoche works, okay? Oh, is paradox same with irony? Actually, no, 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 no. Irony, it's like what you say is opposite to what you feel. So for example, kapag may naapakan yung paa mo, 'di ba? Masakit 'yan kapag maapakan yung paa mo. Talagang yeah, you will not like it. But instead, you will say, "Ay, salamat. Sobrang ganda mo talaga at inapakan mo ang paa ko." So that's ironic, 'di ba? Bakit mo siya pinipraise when supposed to be you are angry? Right? So paradox, these are just contradictory statements, pero they make sense. They have meaning, okay? Irony is you're saying the opposite of what you actually meant. Kahit na galit ka na dahil napakan yung paa mo, you instead said, napakaganda mo talaga. Diba? So that's how irony works. I lost my phone and I am planning to buy a new one. What kind of reference is used in the sentence? I lost my phone and I am planning to buy a new one. Comment your answers. Correct answer is anaphora. So dito, I lost my phone. I am planning to buy another one. So one here is, or it refers to the phone. Ano ba kasi yung anaphora? If you say anaphora, you tend to repeat words to make it memorable. So repetition to make the line memorable. So for example, kapag sabihin natin, I came, I saw, I conquered. So yung it's paulit-ulit, but it's really good to the ears, diba? Napaka-impactful niya. So here, however, there are also other types of anaphora. So we replace the word to avoid redundancy. So first one, we have the pronominal anaphora. So we are replacing the subject with a pronoun. So here, Lucy ate. She was hungry. So kapag sabihin mo Lucy ate, Lucy was hungry, it's also fine. Kaya lang, we are trying to avoid redundancy. Ano ba yung redundancy? I'm sure you're familiar with it. Yung paulit-ulit, di ba? So that's why we replaced it with she. We also have the adjectival anaphora. Lucy ate, her mom cooked. So Lucy and her, it's the same person. So we just using the possessive adjective. Lucy, her. And of course the one anaphora. So I broke my phone, I need a new phone. Or I need a new phone, I need a new one. Instead na ulitin mo ulit yung salitang phone. So to avoid redundancy, we have these different types of anaphora. But overall, that sentence is anaphora, okay? So ano ba yung iba? Core reference, this is reference in one expression. So for example, you said you would come, di ba? So both yous here have a same person lang, di ba? Sabi mo, darating ka. So mo and ka, they're the same. Alliteration, so repetition of, again, you can review this one later. Listen na muna sa akin, okay? Don't take notes, it's fine. I just want you to be familiarized with all of these. Alliteration, repetition to make the initial consonant. Repetition of the initial consonant. Initial, it's yung unahan, pinakauna. So, Peter Pepper picked a peck of pickled peppers. So, yung sentence, napakaraming pa 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 pa. Right? So, yung initial consonant sound niya is letter P. So, usually, yung tongue twisters, they are examples of alliteration. Ano pa ba? Yung she sells seashells by the seashore. So, sobrang daming so, alliteration yan, okay? Initial consonant sound. Of course, we have the assonance. So, repetition of the vowel sound. So, dito yung vowel sound naman. So, for example, these words, lake, base, fade, fate. So, yung sound nila, it's all A, right? So, yan yung example ng assonance. This ain't really the hard part. Terminologies lang ito, okay? So, which represents the different social implications, cultural ramifications, or sentimental meanings attached to a symbol. Alin dito? Is it portmanteau, denotation, connotation, or euphemism? Comment your answers. So, social implications, cultural ramifications, or sentimental meanings attached to a symbol. Guys, kapag meron siyang mas deeper na meaning, that is connotation. Okay? Kapag hindi siya, kasi yung denotation, literal. Yung connotation, it's not. Okay? You read between the lines to get its meaning. So here, let's proceed. Okay, ano ba yung portmanteau? It's also known as blended words. Comment nga kayo ng sample blended words. Yung maisip ko lang talaga is yung brunch. Breakfast and lunch. Ganyan kadami ang alam kong words. At yung ano pa, motel, motorist hotel. Yung dalawa lang talaga yung examples ko. I'm sure you have, okay, fork, spoon and fork, good. Smog, smoke and fog. Okay, that is good. So ito yung, example ng portmanteau or blended words, okay? Pasensya na talaga sa brunch. Hanggang doon lang talaga yung examples ko. Funny. Ano ba ba? Frenemy. Friend and enemy, if that's a thing. Okay. Telecast. Wow. But common talaga yung sport tsaka smog, right? Camcorder. Oh my, camera and recorder, camcorder, right? So yan yung portmanteau, okay? Or, blended words. Now, let's have this one, denotation and connotation. So, for example, I am a bit blue today. Kapag sinabi mo, I am a bit blue today, so yung denotation niya is talagang nagkulay blue ka, na parang kang isang avatar. Diba? Sino nakapanood na avatar? It was a good one. And then, kapag connotation naman, it means I am sad. So, you read between the lines. Meron siyang, ano yun? Napakahirap kasi ng vocabularies eh. Sentimental meaning or emotional meanings. So, I am blue today, if we, have it in connotation, I am sad today. Pero kapag denotation, talagang literal lang. Yung sabi nga dito sa comment, word from the dictionary. Yes, so it's, okay. Correct answer natin in that sense, yung merong cultural something, emotional attached to a symbol, connotation yan, okay? Next one. A presentation style where the speaker aims to instruct the audience on how to carry out a task. Is it demonstrative, expository, explanation, or informative? Comment your answers. Correct answer is yes, it's letter A, demonstrative. You're demonstrating. So Usually, very common ito yung recipe, yung cooking, ano yan, right? Yeah, meron kang pinapa-follow na dish. So, you demonstrate anong unang ilunod, anong unang prituhin, right? Using something. So, for example, a microscope. So, you should demonstrate how to use that one. So, that's demonstrative, okay? Expository, explanation, or informative, they're all pretty much the same. Ano ba yung iba? You have the persuasive, persuasive. Um, for example, niyan yung advertisements, yung mga nag-networking. Kayo, nakatry ba kayo mag-networking? Sobrang galing nila mag-convince ng tao, right? To persuade. Also, politicians, when they are running for a position, sobrang galing mag-convince or to do the persuasive speech, right? But that's it. I did not dwell so much on that kasi it's a bit understandable naman. But anyway, you all had the correct answer. Now let's proceed. The following are pre-linguistic stage noises except, is it babbling, blinking, cooing, or crying? Comment your answers. Correct answer dito is, all right. So if you see guys, if we understand it that, usually, yung kanina sa anaphora, I came, I saw, I conquered, right? So it could be, we can expect na they came, they saw, they conquered, diba? This statement is very powerful. They came, they saw, they conquered. But in this sentence, yung sinabi lang is, they came, they saw, they did a bit of shopping. So, if we listen to it, parang nakaka-turn off, di ba? Kasi sobrang ganda ng intro, and then suddenly, it dropped. Okay? Yung kagandahan niya, it dropped. So, it's not that nice anymore. This phenomenon is what we call the bathos, okay? It's letter D. So, bathos is like, ano yun, anticlimactic, yung sobrang ganda na tapos suddenly, naging pangit siya. So, for example, you'll be praised by your friends. Sasabihin ng friend mo na, wow, sobrang ganda ng gown mo. It's sparkling and shining. Para kang, ano ba? Para kang baboy, for example. So if you're listening to the compliment, sobrang ganda ng gown mo, sobrang laki, puffy, and then sasabihin, para kang baboy. So it's a bit turned off, diba? So that phenomenon is called bathos, okay? So parang sobrang ganda na and then cut. So they came, they saw, anong ginawa nila? They did a bit of shopping. So it's bathos, okay? Ano ba kasi yung iba? Klein, lumabas ito last October 2022. A scale of language items that goes from one extreme to another. So word Klein, guys. Ito yung I think, pinaka useful na example ko lang talaga para mas madali siya maintindihan. So for example, freezing, cold, chilly, cool, mild, warm, hot, boiling. So from extreme na sobrang lamig until sa extreme na sobrang init. So yung pinagdadaanan yung iba. So from freezing, dito ka na sa cold, medyo malamig na lang. Chilly, okay, medyo okay na. Hanggang sa cool. Mild, warm, hot, boiling. So next one, we have the X's. So the X's naman, it takes some element of its meaning from the context or situation of the utterance. So the X's in a sentence, dapat nandun yung speaker, yung addressee, yung kausap, yung pinag-uusapan, the time, and the place. So yan yung tawag sa phenomenon na yan. So for example here, you should have been here last week. So you, yung kausap, saan, here, when, last week. So this is a form of the X's, okay? It's more of like, it's very literary stylistics kasi. So take some element of its meaning from the context or situation of utterance. So again, word climb, one extremity to the other, okay? So let's proceed. Again, yung answer, sudden drop of the very good, yung sobrang ganda na tapos naging hindi maganda, it's called bathos, okay? Next one. So word exam tip, study keywords, synonyms, and adverbs, okay? What does this mean po ba? Okay, may example dito. Gigantic, huge, big, small, tiny, microscopic. Exactly, that's correct. All right. So, lecturer siya, and she was a top-notcher. The way she answers questions, keywords talaga. Like, yung questions, hinahanapan niya yung parang may hina-highlight na parts siya. You can also do that. And while you're highlighting keywords, no keywords, be careful of synonyms, okay? So, for example, yung as opposed to, pwedeng sabihin, run counter. So if you don't know what that means, hindi mo intindihan yung entire question, okay? Also adverbs. So some of the options, yung sa options na part, be careful of adverbs. Yung always, never, sometimes. So they can change the thing entirely, okay? Baka isipin mo na, okay, ito na yung tama. Tapos, meron pala nung sometimes lang. Diba? So, be very careful, okay, when you meet those words. I really want you to, like, completely understand, okay, the question. Do not answer unless you are not, like, really sure or you did not understand the question and the options entirely, okay? So, sagutin mo kapag, yeah, nakakasiguro ka na. Again, every item matters. Every item can make you a top-notcher. It can fail you. It can pass you. So, every item matters. Kaya, wag i-disregard, okay? So, that's it. Be very careful. Okay, what is aestheticism po? Oh, I will have aestheticism in another. Ism po kasi yan eh. So, I have another rationalization for that, okay? Don't worry. Okay, very well. Now let's proceed to this one. Which process do you teach when you teach students to analyze the title of the story and illustrate to help them initially grasp the meaning of a text? So, pina-analyze mo muna yung title for them to initially grasp the meaning of the text. Is this foreshadowing, predicting, previewing, or critiquing? Comment your answers. Keyword natin dito is initially grasp. So, it's predicting. Okay? So, parang yung title pa lang yung pinapa-analyze mo, pero yung bata, they will already have an idea sa kung ano yung storya all about. Okay? So initially grasp the meaning of the text. So they are predicting. Okay? So yan yung sinasabi ko is synonyms, keywords. They initially grasp. May makuha kang konti, but not entirely. Right? So it's predicting. So for example, katulad ng yung best friend mo, may bagong jowa siya. And you look at the new jowa, nakikita mo is yung physicality pa lang. So you are initially grasping na, mabait naman yung mukha, baka mabait. So pinipredict mo na, okay, mabait siguro to. Right? So it's the same when, in the class. So, you make the kids analyze something without giving them the entire thing. Initially grasp, you are letting them predict, okay? It's letter B. I think meron namang sumagot ng letter B, di ba? Okay, this one, ito yung pinaka-favorite kong example. So from the words son, it is now customary to kiss the bride. Nagkamali ka verbally. Son, it is now customary to cuss the bride. So it is a verbal error resulting to humor. Nakakatawa siya because, you're nagkamali ka when you spoke it. So what phenomenon is this called? Is it habit formation, spoonerism, malapropism, or chiasmus? Don't worry, explain ko rin yung distractors. So that's another thing pala when I lecture. The rest of the distractors are also possible items, okay? I don't want to waste your time kasi. So, all in na natin. Pati distractor, bigyan ng meaning. Okay. We should have, heavy na distractors then. So anyway, what are your answers? Anyway, correct answer dito is spoonerism. Spoonerism, okay? Ano ba ito? Spoon? Okay. So, if you say spoonerism, this is a spoken or a verbal error resulting to humor. So, yun na nga. It is now customary to kiss. Naging, it is now customary to cuss. So, ikakas mo na yung bride, hindi na ikikiss, di ba? That's a bit funny. So, it's spoonerism, okay? Yung malapropism naman, it's a word error. So, usually, when you're reading or writing, okay? So, this is also a really funny example. The doctor gave me subscription for my allergies instead of prescription, di ba? So instead naggamutin ka, nag-subscribe ka na sa allergies mo. So malapropism, it's a word error, okay? Usually reading or written. So spoonerism naman, it's verbal. Yung, yeah, na-mislip lang yung tongue mo. So anyway, these are, yeah, word errors. So that's it, malapropism. At yung chiasmus naman, okay? It's a rhetorical or literary figures in which words, structures, or concepts are repeated in a reverse order. So kabaliktaran siya. For example, poetry is the record of the best and happiest moments of the happiest and best minds. So best and happiest, happiest and best. If it is this phenomenon, tawag dito is chiasmus. Okay? Again, spoonerism, verbal error. Malapropism naman, it's a word error. So both of them result to nakakatawa. Okay? But chiasmus, it's the reverse order. Pinapalit-baliktad lang yung structure or yung words. Let's have this one. Fearless, objective, impactful. This is a punctuated sentence to emphasize. This sequence is recognized as, what is it called? Is it palindrome, epenthesis, washback, or staccato? But, okay. Anyway, correct answer is staccato, okay? So, kapag staccato, it's you punctuate a sentence to emphasize, okay? Diba? So, every word merong period. Fearless, objective, impactful. So, that's all about, okay, punctuation para ma-emphasize. Ano ba tong iba? So, of course, we have, kapag sabihin mong palindrome, reads the same backwards. So, kahit na ibalik-baliktad mo yung words, it's still the same. Katulad ng civic, madam, nurses run. Talagang na-amaze talaga ako sa nurses run. Because even if i-reverse order mo siya, okay, it is still nurses run. So that phenomenon is called palindrome, okay? Euphemism naman, this is a figurative language. So for example, you make the expression less unpleasant. Less unpleasant. So instead of saying, teka, meron ba kung, oh, wala palang euphemism, this is epenthesis. I will explain epenthesis later, okay? So for now, euphemism, instead of saying na your dog or your pet died, talagang nakakasakit siya, it's a bit, yeah, nakakalungkot. So instead you say passed away or your pet departed to the afterlife, diba? If you got fired, so pwedeng sabihin ng boss mo na, okay, Jenny, we let you go. Instead of saying na, Jenny, you are fired. So you make the word less offensive, tawag dyan euphemism, okay? Okay. The wine was brewed in France but bottled in Hong Kong. The verb bottled is formed through the process of reversal, inversion, conversion, or temporal. Bottle, bottle is, ang tawag dun? Noun yan, right? The bottle. So, for example, ito, bottle. And then again, bottled, it became a verb. So, this is what we call, all right, I think wala namang nagkamali. So, letter C, conversion, okay? So conversion is the process of changing or converting the class of a word without changing its form. So very common example talaga yung email. I sent you an email. I sent you an email, noun siya. But you can say, I emailed you. Naging verb siya. So conversion tawag dyan, okay? Same with the bottle, bottled, okay? Conversion. So those who answered letter C, congratulations. All right, let's proceed to the next one so that I can read some more comments. Oh, this is quite not that hard. This is the way a language is actually used by its speakers. Is it descriptive, prescriptive, diction, or stylistics? Comment your answers. Let me see some comments. Keyword natin, anong keyword? Actually, actually. So yung actually na ginagamit natin, it's descriptive, okay? So actually, you are describing. Prescriptive naman how they should use it. So I've read dito, may tanong sa group natin, yung, ano yun? Oh, di ba nawala na? Better than, or she is taller. She is more beautiful than me. She is more beautiful than me. So that's how we often use it, di ba? That's descriptive. Kasi nakasanayan natin. But actually, I was told that the correct one is, she is more beautiful than I am if I'm wearing a dress. She is more beautiful than I. So that is prescriptive, how it should be. Pero yung nakasanayan natin is yung me. Kasi, yeah, it's a direct object at yun yung, yeah, like maganda sa, hindi naman siya pangit pakinggan. Okay? So anyway, actually used by the speakers, yung nakasanayan, it's descriptive. Pero yung dapat, yung how it should be, it's prescriptive, prescribed. Okay? All right, so correct answer is letter A. Next one. At nandito na nga. Nandito pala yung rationalization. Okay, how the language is used, how the language should be used. Okay, descriptive, prescriptive. Okay, let's not dwell too much on that. Let's proceed. Wow, this is long. A type of supported dictation in which the teacher reads a short curriculum related text many times and the learners try to produce their own version as close to the original as possible. Is it grand conversation, dictogloss, closed procedure, or cacophony? Correct answer natin dito is, di ba? So it's actually supported dictation, it's dictogloss. That's what we mean by dictogloss, okay? So this is one of the words that I never forgot when I took the board kasi hindi ko talaga alam kung ano siya. Like I've never met dictogloss before. So talagang na wrong talaga ako when I was while I was answering. But anyway, so ano ba yung iba? Let's have it. If you say grand conversation, this is a student-led whole class discussion around a specific topic. So if you remember, well, you were still studying. So I'm not sure. Oh my gosh, bakit hindi ko ma-share? Let me mention everyone in the post muna. Okay. So before, kasi dati hindi naman kami masyadong, we do this one, the grand, grand conversation. It's usually debate yung ginagawa namin. But anyway, so closed procedure, this is synonymous or this is similar with fill in the blanks. Okay? Fill in the blanks. Now, what is, or ano naman yung cacophony? So it is the repetition of the same sound. Repetition of the same sound. So for example, war is war. So yung war, paulit-ulit. It is what it is. So it is, paulit-ulit. So usually this is verbal or spoken kasi sound. Tautology naman, repetition of the same idea with different words. So kapag sabihin mong a round circle, alangan naman, ano ba yung circle? It's round, right? So yeah, it's very redundant. Next is ATM machine. ATM machine. So ano ba yung ibig sabihin ng M in the ATM machine? Right? So I think this is automated. Ano bang meaning ng ATM? Let me search nga. Because I'm pretty confident yung M dyan is machine. Okay, it's correct. Automated teller machine. Diba? Kasi ATM tapos machine pa. Same with ano yun? GPS system. Global Positioning System. So it's tautology, okay? Paulit-ulit yung idea. Tautophony, paulit-ulit yung sound, okay? Grand conversation, a student-led, whole class discussion, and yung closed procedure naman, students have to fill in missing words, so similar with fill in the blanks. Okay, next one. So here is the thing. We're often told talaga, like the best way daw to answer the exam. Kasi I've learned as well from Dr. Carl Ibalita. I also watch his videos on YouTube. Well, actually, pinanood ko lahat sa YouTube when I was reviewing. And I had there a very good insight, yung delay your judgment, diba? Yung dapat do not answer unless dalawa na lang yung options mo. So we are often told to eliminate daw. But the question is how to eliminate. Diba? Ano ba? How will you know na yan yung dapat i-eliminate? Yung iba nga magko-complain sila sa akin na, naku ma'am, baka ma-eliminate ko yung wrong answer or yung tamang sagot. So, anyway, Correct answer is, or the answer to that, how to eliminate is to question all the choices. Okay? Question all the choices. So if you see letter A, does it answer to the question ba? Letter B, does it answer to the question ba? Letter C, and so on. And then you can have okay. So that's when okay, magkakaroon ka ng idea kung ano yung mas close to the question. So same lang, for example, 'di ba? Marami kang suitor. So maraming gustong maging jowa ka. So paano mo malalaman yung tamang tao? So you question all the ito siya mabait, ito hindi naman umiinom, ito matalino, ito ano. Ito hindi matangkad. So eliminate. For example lang yan So it's, yeah, when you're answering the board exam, you can also question the choices, okay? If they can be the right answer. So that's the best way to do it. And it actually really worked for me. And what I'm really proud of about this one is I just came up with it while I was reviewing. Like, it's really good pala to question all the choices. Kasi hindi mo naman alam yung tanong, hindi mo maintindihan yung tanong, then you question all the choices. Baliktarin mo yung situation, okay? So, anyway, correct answer is, wala pala palang correct answer. Correct answer in how to eliminate is to question all the choices, okay? So let's proceed. What do we call words such as exam, flu, gator, or hippo? Is it clipped, blended, allomorphs, or free morpheme? Anyway, correct answer dito ay clipped words, okay? Clipped words. Ano yung blended? Yung portmanteau kanina, right? Yung motorist, hotel, motel. Motel talaga yung alam ko. Okay, spoon and fork, sport. Blended yun. But ito naman, it's cut. So, it's clipped, okay? So, minsan kasi sobrang haba ng word. So, we just cut it out. So, katulad ng refrigerator. So, yung clip niya is fridge, di ba? Pero sa Pilipinas, ano? Ref. Buksan mo yung ref. But in other countries, they don't say ref. It's really fridge. So, sa atin lang yung ref, di ba? Kasi sobrang haba ng refrigerator. But anyway, it's clipped words is the answer, okay? Oh yeah, gymnasium, gym. Correct. Clip words. Let's proceed. Girls. You never know what they're going to think. The kind of punctuation used is recognized as palindrome, staccato, washback, or euphemism. I think we've met this one earlier, but this time a different example. Anyway, you can still comment your answers. Anyway, correct answer natin dito ay, okay, still staccato. This is still staccato, okay? Kanina, kanina pala, fearless, period, objective, period, impactful, period. So dito, you are punctuating to emphasize. So girls, period. You never know what they're going to think. Diba? Mas powerful siya kasi i-compare mo sa gumamit siya ng comma. Girls, comma, you never know what they're going to think. Hindi masyadong impactful. Compare dito, di ba? Girls, yung mga babae talaga. Period. You never know what they're going to think. So again, kapag punctuated to emphasize, staccato yan, okay? All right, so palindrome, okay, we've had this one. Again, reads backwards, euphemism, making the expressions less offensive. I think we've had that one. All right, so this one, lumabas dito last October. What is another term for pen names? Is it name concealer, pseudonym, alias, or fake names? The first one, meron ding sumagot ng alias, but it's, I don't know, alias sounds a bit strange to me. It's like a nickname that someone gives you. Pen name is pseudonym, okay? Most of the answers, most of the options, they make sense naman. Fake names, name concealer, but pseudonym is the appropriate one, okay? It's letter B.